lives one day at a time. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. They're here to get your day going fine. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. And here's your host, Miss Kim Robinson.
You stand for. You the classy type, ready to be a wife, but content in your singleness, holding it down, right, yeah. She worth more than your paper. You need more than jewelry and cars for you to date her. Not impressed with them lames. Her aim is the creator, so you can keep them whips and them chains. She for the savior, whoa. But she knows she still deserve it in church every Sunday, living for the worship. Voice of an angel, humble like a servant, smile so amazing. This girl is the greatest, yeah. She been beautiful since birth. To make a wife, you better be a man. She know her worth, and she not gonna let anybody walk her up out the church. You better be a man of God, willing to put him first. Stand up and get your hands up. If you know you're beautiful, then go ahead and clap it up. Go on and clap it up. Go on and clap it up. I said it's your song. Go on and clap it up. I tell you she's so bad, I can't really help it. Finding a good thing, I tell you this girl a blessing. Christ, she gon' rep it, fly like a feather. Concerned with the Lord, not impressed with world pleasure. She beautiful. Yeah, baby girl, go on, put your hands up. Cause I know you beautiful, I know just what you stand for. Felt a lot of pain in your life, you wear it so well, so elegant, the style of your life. So now I can't tell, well, yeah. Single mother raising a kid to a wife, holding it down. Husband handling biz, or on campus, a model to women on how to live. Not persuaded by the pressure your parents give, for real, for real. Yeah, this your song, so go on, clap it up. Tell the DJ, put it on and keep it on repeat. See wonderful women about every week, but to see the women living for God is so sweet. Got a nice walk, matching your talk is unique. You so beautiful, forget what they heard, they can't see. All my ladies standing firm in the word, I get weak, but I only want uno, you know. All the ladies stand up and get your hands up. If you know you're beautiful, then go ahead and clap it up. Go on and clap it up. Go on and clap it up. I said when it's your song, go on and clap it up. I tell you she's so bad, I can't really help it. Finding a good thing, I tell you this girl a blessing. Christ, she gon' rep it, fly like a feather. Concerned with the Lord, not impressed with world pleasure. She beautiful. All my ladies stand up and get your hands up. All my ladies stand up and get your hands up. All my ladies stand up and get your hands up. Now get your hands up. Now get your hands up. If you're beautiful when you know it, then gon' clap it up. If you're beautiful when you know it, then gon' clap it up. If you're beautiful when you know it, then gon' clap it up. Gon' clap it up. Gon' clap it up. I wanna hear you clap it up. All my beautiful women. What you being so shy for? You know you're beautiful, right? I tell you she's so bad, I can't really help it. They told you otherwise. I tell you this girl a blessing. They lie. She gon' rep it, fly like a feather. Concerned with the Lord, not impressed with world pleasure. She beautiful.
Amen, 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 amen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And thank you once again for tuning in to Let's Talk on Elation Radio. I am your host, Chanel Lynn, and special thanks to the beloved Miss Kimmy Kim and Jerry Royce at PositivePower21.org. I hope everyone had a very Merry Christmas, as I did as well. And without further delay, our topic for today is gold diggers versus gold diggers. And I thought this would be a very interesting topic because everyone has goals and aspirations in life, but some of us have more focus on material, worldly, or earthly possessions more so than anything else. It's great to have a vision and goals for prosperity and success in life, as we all have a desire to live life to our fullest potential and provide for our families and for ourselves, and to obtain things that we most definitely need and want to live and, live an abundant life here on earth, which is what we should have. But the heart that only has a desire for material possessions is much different than one whose desire is to be excellent in what they do for people and before the Lord. And so the difference can be very, very tricky. I think it's important, even when searching for a husband or a wife, it's very, very important to be able to discern the difference between someone who is a gold digger versus someone who is a gold digger, and there is a difference. So joining us on tonight, we have Minister Q Ellerby with us. Hopefully he is online with us. Q, are you here with us? Are you on? Hello. Okay, so while he is...
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Great.
Okay.
Okay. So, with our topic, my question that I want to start this discussion off with is, what is your definition, Minister Q, of a gold digger versus a gold digger?
Well, that's and this topic is very, very deep, as it should be, because if you're digging for gold, you're not going to find it on the surface level. So you got to dig for that gold.
Right.
If you're looking for a virtuous woman, you gotta dig deeper too on that, because you just can't go by the outward appearance now these days.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a lot of people who are very successful. They look good, they smell good. Get their hair dyed a lot. That hair dyed,
fried dyed, laid to the
and
side,
things like that. Exactly. They look good, but on the inside they're terrible. And what I mean by terrible, I don't mean that they're trashy, but they're not at their best, because on the inside they're hurting, and that's what I mean by terrible. And hurt people. So the more times you are being hurt, the more times you want to make somebody else feel what you feel. So you may look good, but underneath of all that is pain and suffering.
Yeah.
And we tend to mask that with things that we can possess from the grocery store or from the store, things like that. So, anyways, back to what I was saying. As far as like the whole gold digger or gold digger or whatever or whatnot, you have got to understand that most people want to be a successful person, but because it's hard to be successful now these days, you tend to just want to look successful versus being successful. Nobody wants to put in that work that requires you to be truly successful. A real successful person doesn't necessarily have to have the look. You don't have to have it. But because some of the people who don't have it, you want to look like you do. And I'm not just going to talk about the women. I'm talking about the men too. Us guys, us fellas, we tend to buy Jordans, $100 worth of pair, $150 worth of shoes now, and it looks like we got money. And when you check our bank account, it's $5. We ain't really balling like that. We're not really balling like that. And then of course, if you can afford that, right? You paying $150 for a pair of shoes, and you actually win the person over to go on a date with her because you look good, you smell good, and look like you got money. You treat her out to dinner, things like that, and you have a discussion. You don't sound too intelligent at the dinner table. So, are you a gold digger or a gold chaser?
Okay.
Are you too busy trying to be the person who got it all together, or appear to who has it all together, but you're really not? And those are the people you got to really watch out for. I'd rather take somebody who doesn't have it all together as far as their finances, but their mindset is sharp, than versus somebody who may seem like that they got it all together. They seem like that their money is no longer funny, their change is no longer strange, and their credit does let it. It seems like everything is all together. And then, but when you look deeper, it's not. I'd rather take that person who can admit, hey, look, I may not have the biggest bank account, I may not have this and this and that, but I got my mind. My spirit, my heart is in line with God. I read my Bible. I'm a worshiper at heart. I love God. God loves me. And I know that God has given me a gift to be a blessing to others, and that's what I am. And that's what I do, is being a blessing to others, right? I'm a blessing to other people. I'm a blesser, right? So the thing about it is, who are you really? So it's a – Lord Jesus, well, I'm really not trying to take anybody's throat right now.
I totally understand.
But the thing about it is, people try – oh, Jesus. People really, really, really want to look good. They want to look good. You want to look good. I get it. We are living in a different time. We are no longer speakers and talkers like that anymore. We don't talk King James no more. We don't wear little sandals in our feet and having our feet dirty, things like that, because, it's the only type of shoe that we could actually make. We wear sandals now because of a style, not because we have to wear it because it's the only shoe that we could actually have. But we wear it as a style now. But back in the day, they didn't have the kind of clothes that we have now. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have the kind of things that we have now. So now that we're living in a modern day lifetime, we're living in a modern day time frame that we want to try to keep up with everybody else's appearance. And that's sad because, like I said, you're checking the bank account,
keeping up with
you're looking
the Joneses.
good on the outside, but your bank account is not saying anything, right? And then on top of that, even if you did look good, your people, when they have a conversation with you, you're not saying nothing. You're saying a whole lot of nothing.
Okay, so this is what I'm basically getting out of what you're saying about gold diggers is basically basically what you're saying is a gold digger is one who is ambitious, could be driven, and can be very diligent to what it takes to get money or material things. This person can be, or this person can have a lot of possessions, expensive things, etc., and may look glamorous and glorious on the outside, but the person's heart can be very artificial or untrustworthy. This person can be sold to the highest bidder. There's not much loyalty in this person's character, but this person basically looks good or works or strives hard to make things look glamorous, make sure that their life looks prosperous, but it's only to mask some kind of possible hurt, as you said, or something that it's something. Basically, they can use that as a cover up. Basically, that's what I'm getting out of what you're saying. Okay, got you. Totally got you.
Especially
Okay.
the whole mask part, because you take somebody who hasn't showered in 72 hours, right? And they throw on deodorant. Okay, they may seem like that they smell good, but if you smell deeper, you can tell that
it's
person
some filth under there.
washed.
It's some filth. It's some filth under there.
Right. It's some filth under there. Wait a minute, hold on.
It's some filth under there.
You need to be
and
clean.
you know what? To bring the feminine aspect of it, because you just took my mind there. Not saying that there's anything wrong with wearing makeup for the ladies. Okay, I wear makeup sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I can't wear it all the time, though. You know what I'm saying? But I do it to, just enhance You know what I'm saying? What God had already gave me, you know. But there are some of my ladies out here who every day when they get up in the morning put on layers and layers and layers and layers of makeup, totally change their outward appearance to look like a totally different person. And you know what I'm saying? And some of the women's heart is so in distraught, and so, you know, a lot of our women out here, they struggle with low self-esteem. They struggle with liking the way that they look. They struggle with liking who they are as a woman. You know, I can only speak for the women at this point because, you know what I'm saying, I don't really know too much about, you know what I'm saying, things that men go through as far as, you know, things that make you confident as a man or whatever. But from a woman's standpoint, a lot of women, we can do that. We can mask. Ooh, we can put on a facade. We know how to act to cover up how we really feel about ourselves. But when you get close to that woman, or when a man gets closer to that woman, then he starts seeing her imperfections. He starts seeing the flaws in her character. He starts seeing how she can be detrimental. The man who's really paying attention, the man who really sees past the physical and really looks at the character of a person, who really looks at the condition of the person's heart, can see that this woman is struggling with loving herself. You know what I'm saying? But the person who's not, the man who's not, who is easily influenced or easily wooed in by what he physically sees as far as this woman's possessions and the way she looks or the way she, you know what I'm saying, the facade or whatever that the man who's not, who doesn't even listen much to the voice of God, the man who just, you know what I'm saying, pretty much goes on his own thoughts and his own desires, can easily be persuaded and seduced by this particular woman, and then wonder why, once he's married her, why his household has fallen into ruin.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm totally getting this is what and you know, gold diggers, this is what gold diggers do. You know what I'm saying? A lot of gold diggers, this is the reason why they are gold diggers, because they don't really have much stability in their heart. They have stability maybe in, you know, things that they have, their finances and everything, which that is fine. But if your heart is far from, if you're not whole in your heart, if you are hurting in your heart and you're putting up a facade, true enough, you attract that man, but you're going to tear up your own household because you're hurting. And just like you said, Q, hurt people hurt people.
Yeah. And that in itself is something to definitely look at, because if you are solely depending on chasing gold to think that you, in order for you to be that virtuous woman, that you have to have this, you have to have that. No, it starts from the inside out, because your beauty can only take you but so far, and you and that lies. It goes back to the point where are you that 20% woman or that 80% woman? You know, or are you that 100% woman? And there's a guy who may say, hey, why can't I have a beautiful woman who has it together? She is out there. You do not have to rely on a 20-80 rule. You don't have to. I'm pretty sure that there's a woman out there that can satisfy you 100%. I believe that there is. But you're not going to find her. You're not going to find her in the places that you're looking at. Okay? The term, you can have your cake, he just want his cake and eat it too. You can do that. You're supposed to eat the cake. You can have your cake and eat it too. All right? You're supposed to eat the cake, have the cake, and eat it too. And you can. The problem is you're shopping in the wrong store. If you go to a place where you can actually have your cake made, stop trying to go and get this quick cake fix. Go to a place where you can have your cake made. Lord, this is the type of woman that I have, that I want.
Specially made.
Send her my way. And then he sends her your way, and she turned out not to be exactly who you want her to be, but she has the potential, right?
Okay.
Because her heart is right. She looks good, but she's not into that fancy stuff. You know, she may shop at Walmart or she may shop at the dollar store, but if you throw a pair of heels on, all this name brand stuff on there, and she looks totally different. See, there you go. But you want that person who already got it together on the outside, but her mindset ain't right. So what we have to do is be patient. God can send us somebody with the right mindset, but she may not have it all together as far as her finances, but her mindset is there.
Okay.
So that's the kind of woman you want. You shouldn't have to chase somebody who looks good, who smells good, and appears that she got it all together, or even for the man. You know, the women.
Right.
You don't have to necessarily look for tall, dark, and handsome all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because that guy who can be tall, dark, and handsome, but the problem is his mindset is not there.
Pause.
Now, what happens if you get a guy whose mindset is there? Yeah, go ahead.
Look here. Now, I'm going to bring the biblical aspect of it, because you just made me think about what we talked about before the show when we talked about Solomon. It was Solomon. All right, 1 Kings 3, 1 through 15, where basically Solomon, and he was only about 20 years old, right, when he became king in place of his father David. He had ruled over about 4 million people. But Solomon was unique. He wasn't like your average 20-year-old, okay? And it wasn't because he was king. Solomon had a different kind of heart. When the Lord came to Solomon in a dream, right, and asked him what did he wish God to give him, Solomon did not ask for wealth, long life. He didn't ask for fame. He didn't ask for the Lord. He didn't ask the Lord for death to follow his enemies. You know, people who wish death on him or sought to kill him, or you know what I'm saying, his haters or whatever. You know, Solomon asked God to give him wisdom and understanding. He asked him for an understanding heart to judge God's people, to discern between good and evil. Solomon was more concerned about how to do his job as king justly before the Lord, more than pleasing himself. He had a heart to be just and wise for the people he was now responsible for. More than fame and fortune and long life, like your average 20-year-old. You know, most of us, if God would ask us, you know what I'm saying, if God said, I'm your genie in the bottle for 24 hours, ask me whatever it is that you want me to give you, I would give it to you. A lot of us would ask for, you know what I'm saying, long life. We'd ask for fame. We'd ask for, you know what I'm saying? Because we think that these are the things that you know what I'm saying, will make us happy. And I mean, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it is what it is. We're human. And that's, you know what I'm saying, most of us would do that. But look, wait. It's but look here. And because Solomon's heart, because of Solomon's heart, did the Lord not only grant him the wisdom and a discerning heart that Solomon asked for, but God also gave him what Solomon didn't even ask for. What the Lord already knew everybody wants in life, and that's both riches and honor, so that there was no one like him even after Solomon's rule. Even though as King Solomon had certain benefits, but he could have asked to be the richest king in all the earth. He could have asked for his kingdom to be the greatest kingdom ever known to man, and that they'd conquer the whole world. But Solomon was humbled as a ruler over 4 million people at 20 years old, and he was humbled enough to admit his need for a listening heart to hear from God, so that he'd govern God's people with wisdom. And this is the kind of heart that God, the Creator, the Almighty One, the one whom all blessings flow, the one who gives gifts and creates, he gives those kind of gifts that create wealth and add no sorrow, the one who searches the heart and mind of his people, who knows what we stand in need of before we even ask of him. Solomon's heart is the condition of his heart is what is one that God seeks to exalt over all. Not the one who's selfish, the one who has selfish ambition or self-seeking or self-centered, or is arrogant in heart, but the one whose goals are are to be a blessing to others and to please God and not self. This is the one that God seeks to bless beyond measure. And this is the kind of man, ladies, that we should be looking for, and even the kind of woman that I believe men should be looking for. Men, especially men of God.
Look how Solomon got his wife, though. Look how he got his wife. His wife was submitting to her brothers. Her brothers gave her a task, and because she listened to her brothers, Solomon found her. Had she not listened to her brothers, being submissive to her brothers, being obedient, right? He would have never found her.
My God.
And so,
my God,
like I said, we say it all the time. If you want a good spouse, look at how they treat their loved ones.
Yeah. Or other people, period. Period. Look at how they talk about other people.
She was obedient. She was obedient to her brothers. You know, and so with obedience, God honors. He blesses. And she ended up being with the richest man in the Bible.
Wow.
She ended up being with him. You know?
And so many people, and that's funny because so many people, they feud with, you don't tell me, your brothers over there, you don't tell me, I can look at my kids. You don't tell me what to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Even though their big brother could be telling my daughters, their big brother could be telling them, and 9 times out of 10, he's telling them to do something that I would tell them to do. You know what I'm saying? But because he's their big brother, especially my 13-year-old, she, you don't tell me what to do. But the blessing is in the obedience, you know what I'm saying? Especially of those who God has put rule over you. But your obedience, if you submit to God, if you obey what God tells you to do, that's where your blessing is, in your obedience. Lord, the Bible says, you seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, all these things shall be added unto you. The Bible also says that, oh, Lord, the Bible says that if you delight yourself, there it is, thank you, Holy Ghost, delight yourself in the Lord, he'll give you the desires of your heart, things that are of the Lord, things that are pleasing to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Your worship. Your worship is your obedience. You know what I'm saying? Through faith. That's real worship. Your lifestyle, how you live, how you bless and love on other people, how you meet the needs of other people, not so that you can get something in return, not so that you can get money, but if your heart, you know what I'm saying, if your heart is for blessing other people because you see the need and you want the need to be met, because you know what it's like to be in need because you've been there before. You know what I'm saying? Your heart. This is the kind of heart that God chooses to bless. This is the kind of person that God exalts beyond that. The Bible says that God resists the proud, but he gives grace, favor, undeserved favor to the one who is humble. My God in heaven.
So, no man. And you know what's crazy? I was talking to a buddy of mine, okay? And ladies, if you could come and go with us, please, on this topic of gold diggers versus, a gold digger. There's nothing wrong with you wanting to have gold, wanting to have possession.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that we're just simply saying don't let it have you, number one, okay? And, of course, we're just going to assume that everybody that's on this call, if you're listening in right now, that you are definitely a Christian woman. Okay, let's just go ahead and put the card on the table. Let's just go ahead with that assumption. And if you're not, that's a whole different subject. But let's go ahead and take it up a whole different level. If you're already a Christian woman, okay, it is okay to have nice things. It is okay to be beautiful and to want to enhance your look with makeup, things like that. We're just simply asking, don't let it have you. But here's the thing. I was talking with a buddy of mine, and he told me, man, it just seems like these women out here only want guys who doesn't think for themselves. Because you got a sharp guy who has a great mindset, but the woman also has a great mindset. But the thing about it is, by him being a man, he said it seemed like that they don't want a guy who has a sharp mindset. They want a guy who looks good, smells good, but they want a guy that they can control. And they said, "Oh, you look like a little puppy dog." He said, basically, yeah, like I've seen it where you got a guy who may seem like he's successful, but when it comes to a husband and wife discussion or a boyfriend and girlfriend, that woman is telling him what to do, and it's yes ma'am, whatever you want, ma'am, whatever you say, ma'am, type of thing. And she got a man who has it, but she doesn't like the fact that he is a visionary. And if he comes up with the vision, she's totally against it because she didn't come up with it first. And so if she had came up with an idea first, it would have been great.
Wow.
You know, and it's sad that that's how things are now. And he said it seems like the reason why he said it seems like that is because he's not the only one that experienced that. He just sees it a lot of places where the woman who appears to be sophisticated, who got it all together, seems to be the one who makes the final decisions.
Wow. It sounds like a controlling kind of spirit. It sounds like a controlling spirit, which a lot of women and men do have. I think is critically important, very important, that we look out for people who are who operate in the spirit of control. You know, it could be, you got to look out for it because you got to look out for the Jezebel spirit, like for real. It's not all about Jezebel spirit. It's not all about looks, even though she was, all about that. But she was more so about control.
Right. But then there's this flip side to it. There's this guy, he was talking to this one lady, and he really likes her, but she seems like a virtuous woman as far as her mindset, but because she's not sophisticated, she doesn't have it together as far as finance, and he has the mindset, she's very, very nervous because she thinks that she's not good enough to talk to a brother who is.
And that goes with a lot of people who have insecurities and are hurt and everything.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that is our time for this evening, and this discussion has been great. Thank you so much, Minister Q. Thank you so much. The discussion was very, very great, very beneficial. It was very inspirational and very informative. We will definitely have to have you back on. Once again, to my listeners, thank you once again for tuning in to Let's Talk. I am your host, Chanel Lynn, and once again, I hope that everyone has had a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone, as we will be back on here, right here on Elation Radio at 7 p.m. next year, this time next year. Everyone have a wonderful evening. Good night. Thank you so much, Q. You were awesome.
Yeah, no problem.
When your life in despair and your hopes in need of repair, your bills